Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive in, let me tell you this. You absolutely must stay until the very end of this video, because at the end I will share my personal opinion about this story, and I promise you it might completely shock you. So don't click away, don't scroll, because what you're about to hear is not just another piece of entertainment news. It is something far more fascinating, layered and filled with details that you probably have never heard before. And of course, if you enjoy stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, because we are just getting started and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's begin with the headline that has been stirring conversations across Hollywood and far beyond. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the most iconic actors of our time, has finally spoken about his upcoming role in the highly anticipated film, One Battle After Another. But what he revealed has caught everyone by surprise. He compared his character not to a classic heroic archetype, not to the flawless savior who always knows what to do, but instead, he described him as the complete opposite of Tom Cruise's legendary Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible franchise. Think about that for a moment. Instead of smooth landings, carefully choreographed stunts, and picture-perfect rescues, DiCaprio's character seems destined to stumble, to fall, to get it wrong, and yet somehow to capture our attention even more because of that very imperfection. The film itself is based on Thomas Pynchon's 1990 novel, Vineland, a book that for decades was considered unfilmable, dense with ideas, layered with political commentary, humor, and an eccentric style that only a director of immense vision would dare to translate onto the big screen. That director, as fate would have it, is none other than Paul Thomas Anderson. Yes, the mastermind behind films like There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. Anderson has built a reputation for transforming difficult material into cinematic experiences that linger in the mind long after the credits roll. And this time, he has assembled a cast so star-studded, so diverse, and so unexpected that audiences are already buzzing with speculation about how each role will fit into this complex puzzle. DiCaprio steps into the role of Bob Ferguson, a man haunted by his past as part of a revolutionary group. 16 years after walking away from that turbulent chapter of his life, Ferguson finds himself forced back into confrontation when old enemies resurface. But unlike Ethan Hunt, who always has the perfect gadget, the perfect leap, or the perfect plan, Ferguson is a man scrambling, often failing, constantly second-guessing himself, and, as DiCaprio put it, doing absolutely everything wrong. And perhaps that is exactly what makes him relatable. Because how many of us, when faced with life's unexpected challenges, really know the perfect thing to do? In a candid interview with Entertainment Tonight, DiCaprio described Ferguson as a father desperately trying to protect his daughter, even when he has no idea how to raise her properly. It is not the image of a polished hero. It is the image of a flawed, vulnerable human being thrown into circumstances far beyond his control. He's trying to raise a daughter, and he doesn't know how to do it right when his daughter gets captured, DiCaprio explained. Why take the bathrobe off? You gotta go. You gotta go get your girl. His words paint a vivid picture, a man unprepared, unequipped, but unwilling to back down. And then came the line that has already become a viral talking point. It's like the opposite of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Bob does everything wrong, and he doesn't land or stick any of his stunts. But of course, that is precisely the brilliance of this casting. Because Leonardo DiCaprio has built a career out of characters who are not perfect, characters who are deeply flawed, complicated, and often tragic. From The Wolf of Wall Street to The Revenant, from Shutter Island to Don't Look Up, he has never shied away from roles that make audiences uncomfortable, roles that reveal the messiness of human nature. And now, in One Battle After Another, he seems poised to once again take us on a journey that is as much psychological as it is physical. And DiCaprio is not alone in this endeavor. Regina Hall stars alongside him as Deandra, a character whose presence, according to early whispers from those close to the production, adds layers of strength and emotional grounding to the chaotic energy Ferguson brings. Hall herself described the filming process as amazing, openly admitting that she had long admired Anderson's work and felt honored to be part of his creative vision. For Hall, reading the script was a moment of intrigue and fascination. I was incredibly curious. What is this movie? There's a lot of laughter, strong messaging, humor, wit. Her admiration extended to the entire ensemble cast, which she described as an incredible group. She named DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, and Teyana Taylor as standout collaborators, emphasizing that the genius of Anderson lies in the fact that there's no part that's insignificant. Even the smallest roles, she said, are carefully crafted to serve the larger narrative. And then there is Benicio del Toro, the veteran actor known for his magnetic performances in films such as Traffic and Sicario, admitted that working with DiCaprio was a dream decades in the making. Speaking exclusively to People during the film's Los Angeles premiere on September 8, Del Toro revealed that he had admired DiCaprio's work for years, and when the opportunity finally came to share the screen, he adjusted his own approach to ensure their dynamic chemistry. With Leo, you just let him bring the character, and he's the story, Del Toro explained. So for me, with Leo, it's like work around him and just make sure that we fed the story with my character in it. His words underscore the level of respect and admiration he carries for DiCaprio, a respect that has only deepened now that they have collaborated directly. Sean Penn also brings his formidable talent into the mix, while Teyana Taylor adds a modern, energetic spark that promises to keep the film vibrant and unpredictable. Together, this ensemble seems designed not to overshadow one another, but to create a tapestry of interwoven performances, each one enhancing the story's depth and resonance. What makes this project even more fascinating is the timing. In an era where Hollywood is filled with endless sequels, remakes, and superhero franchises, one battle after another emerges as something rare, a film that dares to be different, that dares to challenge its audience rather than simply entertain. It is not about flashy effects or choreographed perfection. It is about the chaos of real human struggles. And at the center of it all is Leonardo DiCaprio, portraying a man who might fail, who might stumble, but who refuses to quit. The anticipation has been building steadily as the release date approaches. September 26 is circled on calendars everywhere. Theaters are preparing for the wave of audiences eager to witness what Paul Thomas Anderson has crafted, and early buzz suggests that the film may not just entertain, but provoke, inspire, and perhaps even unsettle. After all, that is the power of cinema at its best, to make us see ourselves, in all our imperfection, reflected on the big screen. So what does this mean for DiCaprio's career? At 50 years old, he continues to defy expectations, choosing roles that are not safe, not comfortable, but bold. While other actors might settle into predictable patterns, DiCaprio seems determined to keep pushing boundaries, to keep exploring characters who challenge both himself and his audience. And that is why every new project he touches becomes not just a film, but an event. And here's the thing. This story, about an actor we all think we know, taking on a role that seems to turn every expectation upside down, is just the beginning. Because in the end, when we finally see one battle after another, it won't just be about whether Bob Ferguson saves his daughter, or whether he finally succeeds in a mission where he has already failed so many times. It will be about something far deeper, about resilience, about imperfection, about what it really means to fight one battle after another in life, even when you're not sure you're strong enough, smart enough, or prepared enough to win. And that, my friends, is why you need to stay until the very end of this video, because I have my own thoughts about Leonardo DiCaprio's comments, about what this film represents, and about why it matters right now more than ever. and my opinion, when I share it, might just leave you speechless. But I'll save that for later. For now, remember, one battle after another hits theaters September 26th. The question is, are you ready for it?